is your position here at the Up Foundation?
Right now, I'm the admissions coordinator, and I'm also a recovery navigator,
Okay.
which is a certified peer recovery specialist.
Great. So talk to me about, in that position, what do you do here with the foundation and helping people in their recovery process?
So for the most part, what I do is I get all of the enrollments and intake documentation that comes in. So if somebody from Department of Social Services, probation, anything like that, if they submit a referral, I get that, and then I reach out to whoever the participant is and instruct them on how to fill out all of their enrollment paperwork. And then for our youth services, I do their intake assessments. So we allow adults to do that online, and then we do that for the youngsters, so they can kind of get a chance to get to know us. It gives us the opportunity to ask some questions and be a little bit more conversational, and makes them feel a little bit more comfortable sharing with us, because we have to ask a lot of questions that are pretty sensitive by nature, and so we get to have those kind of conversations and make them feel comfortable. I'm a certified peer recovery specialist, so I always lead with the fact that I'm somebody with lived experience, which means that pretty much anything they tell me will not shock me. And for the most part, I've experienced those things myself, and that helps them feel a little bit more comfortable telling me.
And I was going to say, to be able to be someone who may have shared experiences with them, I feel like they may be able to connect with that more. What does that mean to you to be able to be a figure of hope and just support for these people that are coming into this program?
I absolutely love that part of it. I especially love working with the teenagers that I get to work with. I've been doing this for a few years now, and so I've been able to see a lot of young people grow in that process. I'm always really sad when somebody decides that they have graduated from the we don't have like a graduation kind of thing, but when people are coming off of probation, their DSS cases are closed and they're doing better. So it's like a bittersweet thing. Like, they're doing better, so they don't need to see me anymore. But I do keep up with a lot of the young people, especially that I've worked with over the years.
And you talk about how, since you build that connection and relationship with them, what does it mean to you? Yes, it's bittersweet, but also I can only imagine how rewarding it is to see these people coming in and watching them go through this recovery process and watching them on this journey. What does that mean to you, was just seeing the progress that they've made?
I really don't know if I can put it into words. It gives me hope for my own recovery process, to see other people doing that, especially people who do it so young, because I did not, I got into recovery much later in life. I was in my mid-30s, and so to see people doing that in their teens or early 20s just means so much to me, because I know that they're going to have the opportunity to have a really full life. And I have had that, but it just gives me a lot of hope.
And I think that that's a big thing. People that I talk to that either graduated the program yesterday or they are still actively in the program said that this is a place of hope. I mean, when they walked through the doors, they said they were at rock bottom. They felt hopeless. And this organization provided them a lifeline. They provided them that hope that they needed. So can you talk about what you are providing people in this community that maybe think there's nowhere else to turn and that no one could love them, but the pillar that you guys and the message that you guys are sending to people in the community?
Yeah, the benefit of doing services the way that we do them is we walk beside people. So we are able to, for instance, like, I know what it's like to hit that rock bottom and to start with nothing, like literally the shoes on my feet, and walking to a recovery house and finding a job for the first time, and then trying to scrounge up the money to go get your first work uniform and work shoes and those types of things. So being able to say, hey, I've done that before. This is what I did. This is what worked for me. Let me help you. And seeing people from all walks of life go through that process and do the same types of things, but in their own way, and really watching God work, through this organization to help people do that is just, it's like I said, there's no words for it. It's really awesome.
To see the transformation of people when they walk through the door versus when they leave or years later after those relationships that you build with them, what does it mean to you, and how does that make you feel emotionally when you see the growth that's happening in lives right in front of your eyes?
Oh, I adore it. I had a young man I saw. I work here and in Bedford. We have a location that we do in Bedford, and I had a young man get out of the car, and the sun was kind of in my eyes, and I couldn't see who it was, and he had gotten so tall, and he came running to me, and he was like, "Hey, Robin, I'm doing so good right now, and we were driving by, and I just want you to know that I'm doing really well." He was sharing with me how high school is going and all this other stuff, and I just, it really warms my heart, and it makes me feel like what we do here really does matter. There are times that I've worked here as a volunteer, and I know that those hours that I spent volunteering here have paid off in their own way because they've benefited somebody else's life in recovery.
And so, speaking of recovery, September is National Recovery Month. So, can you talk about, just from a standpoint of being an organization that offers so much help to people in the community that need these resources, can you talk about National Recovery Month and why it's so important to spread the word about that and what people need to know about it?
Yeah, recovery comes in a lot of different ways. That there's recovery from mental health challenges, there's recovery from substance use challenges, there's recovery from all types of things. I'm somebody who has some diagnoses that were really challenging to overcome, but I learned through that process that my God is bigger, and that I can do all things, and that it's possible to recover even from something that doesn't seem like there is that much hope. So celebrating National Recovery Month is really important because some people who may not have had those experiences can get to know, like, hey, I am dealing with somebody else in the community who does have those challenges. And, I thank God a lot of times that I don't look like what I've been through, but that doesn't mean that I didn't go through those things. And so I think it helps that I'm able to live my recovery out loud, if that makes sense. I'm able to be in recovery and not be ashamed of that, and to share my story and my testimony with other people so that they know it's possible for them too.
And so, talking about National Recovery Month, you guys do a special program here called Rockin' with Recovery. So can you talk a little bit about what that program is and what people in the community can be looking for during National Recovery Month?
Yeah, so Rockin' with Recovery is a city, and actually it's 2 cities now because we've added Bedford to it.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's a citywide treasure hunt where we have placed rocks all over the community that say there's hope, there's healing, or there is recovery. And they're in green and white, which are our color. Blue and green are our colors. So they're hidden around the community. If you find one, some of them I've placed some of them myself. Some of them I place upside down so that you can see the barcode. Mm-hmm. But anyway, there's a code that you can scan, and a QR code, and it takes you to our website that explains all of the rules of the treasure hunt. And it's just it gives people, just to see a rock sometimes that says there's healing when you're in a place that you need to hear that message, that itself can be really inspiring. And then there's also the fun factor of just being able to go find the rocks. We have a lot of people in our recovery community in Lynchburg, and we spread the word that way. That's how it started. So it's not like it was an underground thing. It was definitely something that everybody was welcome to do, but because the members of the recovery community knew about it, they were able to go out. And so we had like a fun team and competitive little thing going on between like us and some other organizations. And it's just a lot of fun. And it gives people the opportunity to get involved in National Recovery Month in a different way.
So for my final question, when you look back and think about where you were when you first started your recovery process versus where you are now changing and transforming people's lives that may have been going through things that you also went through. What does that mean to you? When you look back and just see that growth, what goes through your mind?
So much. I started this process. So I'm somebody who worked at both hospitals. I was a registered nurse for many years. And so through my addiction, I lost that license. And so I had to get clean, do all the things that I needed to do. But I've been able to, in that process, regain my license as a registered nurse. I got that back in May. I've been able to so many different things. I've started a new family again, which is something I didn't think was ever going to be possible. No, I'm going to cheer up. Sorry. There's just, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm going to pause for a second. It's the hormones too. It's been one of the. I'm like 36. Oh, really? I'm like 36 weeks pregnant now, so it's like, oh, wonderful. Yeah, there's just so many. Thank you. I think I think I held them back, but there's just so many things that I've been able to regain. Like there's the physical blessings of getting my license back and finding this job that I love so much. When I was in front of the nursing board, they asked me what I was doing now, and I had told them what I do here at the Up Foundation. And they asked me, like, well, what do you plan on doing when you get your nursing license back? And I started tearing up then, too. I was like, I don't know, because I don't know if I want to stop working with teenagers. I really love doing that right now. And so it was just, there's so many blessings that come with being in recovery that aren't just of the physical things. Like getting my license back was great. Getting time with my children is wonderful. Having a new child is just amazing. Getting remarried, all of those wonderful things. But also there's a lot of spiritual blessings that come with it as well. Like the change that's happened in me is something that I can't even, again, put into words. But it is something that is palpable, if that makes sense.
If you could say, if someone's watching this and they may be in the throes of addiction and they may think they have nowhere to turn, they may think that this is rock bottom for them, what do you want them to know about the Up Foundation and the people here, and what do you just want them to hear?
The Up Foundation offers things that other organizations may or may not be able to, but we do it in a way that is so special here. It feels very much like a family when you come in here. This has been part of my recovery family since the day I got clean this go around. And that's what's sustained me through this recovery, is having this sense of family, having this sense of community, having people in my life who have also been through the same thing and could help me walk out of that until I was able to be a part of my own biological family again. And so we offer something that is just really profoundly different than anything else that's available, not just in this community, but that I've ever experienced before. So I really love this organization. I started working here after volunteering here, and then after having met people who lived in the program and who had something that I wanted. Like their types of recoveries were the type of recovery that I wanted in my life. So that's what really got me invested in this organization, and I love it so much.
Is there anything else that I didn't touch on that you want the viewers and community to know?
I'm going to think for a second. I apologize. I got all thrown off. Is there anything you can think of that I'm glad this isn't live. I'm like,
oh, sure, fine.
Always ask for volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Marketing, social media.
Oh, yeah. So we have a lot of different things that we do here at the Up Foundation. I myself wear a lot of hats. That it has been a lot of fun getting to know different things. I learned what TikTok was through my job, and all of the different social media platforms that are available. So we can always use help with those types of projects that we have. Am I allowed to talk about the Virginia Foundation for Healthy Youth? Okay. So I'm a grant coordinator, and we received a grant from the Virginia Foundation for Healthy Youth. We have a lot of projects that we have been able to do through that, like our summer camp that we do every year. We are hosting a sober dance in April. It's April 11th, yes, where it's an anti-vaping, anti-smoking, and sober space that we can have for teenagers who want to come and go do a dance. So we have a lot of projects like that, but it does require a lot of work on the back end. And so anybody who wants to get involved in that kind of thing is more than welcome. We have a youth dream team that we've started that's open to students from all of the different schools in Bedford and Lynchburg, and surrounding counties as well. We just haven't had anybody join yet, but if somebody wants to join that, it's for teenagers aged 14 to 18 who are in high school and who want to help with planning those types of events. That meets every other Monday, so if they want more information, they can reach out to me, Robin at upwithrecovery.org, or they can give us a phone call, and we would love to talk about that. But we can always use volunteers for those kinds of projects, and people that just want to get involved. They're more than welcome to give us a call and see how they can get involved.